Should we use like double Nagi like once? Just one round. King Dishonest, man. Ah, I feel so much better now that I have 2 Nagis in my hand. Everything feels right. Jesus, dude. God, they do so much, though. That's the thing. Like, they do so much damage. Why does it do so much? 796 on water. We're not using lightning, though. I think this setup does way too much damage. Like, double spear. Just, for the range, the speed, and the damage, like, it just does not make sense for the rest of the other weapons. Like, it just does too much. They need, like, a 30% damage nerf. Yeah, I said 25 in the feedback, like 25%, but I regret it a little bit. Dude, it could have a fucking 50% damage reduction and no one would complain. Oh, man. But we have the right weapon for the job, though. Again. Oh. God, dude. Man, this weapon really is easy mode, though. You know, like, I always, you know, we always mention it in feedback and everything, but personally, I don't use this stuff. Like, I never pull out double spear. Like, it's extremely rare. It's just in cases like this where I'm just playing with whatever weapon, and then I just stop for a second and realize, like, holy shit. So this is what it feels like to play with these. We're gonna switch off after this one. Oh, this. This is gonna be cancer, though. Valdis. Cancer. Well. Bro, dude. I don't want to brag too much here, but when you think about it, for those of you who've been following me since Dark Souls 3, you know that I basically came up with the whole, like, neutral swap system. But when you stop and think about it, like, what are the odds that From Software actually took inspiration from what they were seeing players do in Dark Souls 3, swapping Ashes of War and weapon arts on the fly like that? What are the odds that this is what inspired them to let us, like, put like any Ash of War on weapons? When you think about it, like, there's a legitimate chance that we might have fucking inspired Elden Ring to be like how it is now with these Ash. Like, when you really stop and think about it, like, oh, it's fucking cancer ass. To have a fight here, but we got fucking host here just throwing every projectile at us at the same time. There you go. Punch him in the dick. But yeah, like, obviously, like, what I'm saying about the Ashes of War and the inspiration, obviously I don't know that, but I don't know, it makes sense to me. Like, it definitely looks like they took inspiration from what the players were doing. And when you stop and think about it, like, I'm actually the one who came up with it. So technically, there's a chance that I inspired From Software to have, like, Ash of War put on weapons. I actually invented Ashes of War. I invented Ashes of War, guys. Not only did I invent PvP in Dark Souls 3, I invented Ashes of War in Elden Ring. God, that's crazy. And you know what else I invented? I actually invented the word shitter in the Souls community. And that, I'm not joking about that one either. You will never find anyone mention the word shitter before the Dark Souls 3 era where we started doing it. In the Souls community, I mean. Like, I don't know about other games, obviously. The word existed before, but... Like, you'll never find a video online on YouTube anywhere where people said the word shitter. I'm just saying. I have, you know, I'm giving you guys, like, so much. Like, I'm giving everyone so much. My legacy is just massive on every level. It's insane. But, as much as I make you guys laugh, I think that's the appeal of why you guys, watch my stuff as well, you know? Partly because the gameplay, and also partly because I'm just honest. I just say what I think, and I think there's not that much of that, like, in general, in a lot of like in a lot of subject matter these days. Like, you don't really get a lot of people that say anything that's on their mind in a lot of context. Oh, we should have caught that. Trying to think of, like, what swap I want here. I think I'm gonna do a Storm Lock. It's the light roll that's a problem here. Like, he's like, because of the light roll, he's like rolling like just far enough. I didn't mean to do this one. There you go. Can you invent some better mechanics for their next game? Well, I mean, if you want to keep talking about stuff that I bring to From Software game, let's just talk about how fucking Estes cancel, like all the fucking Dark Souls 3 cancels were in Elden Ring on the network test. No one gave any feedback but us out of like everyone who fucking did the network test. Like, we were the only content out there that called out these glitches, and then they fixed it. Like, our contribution is already massive when you think about it. Like, the stuff about creating the Ash of War, like, that's, you know, that's a bit, like, preaching for your own church, because there's nothing other than common sense that indicates that the inspiration came from people playing Dark Souls 3 with weapon art swaps, but it makes sense. But when it comes to like fixing the glitches for the network test, that's just like direct correlation. There's no like counter argument to that. Like, we actually fixed the fucking glitches in Elden Ring. No one else did. We did that. It's like the Gabri patch, for instance. Like, there's no one else that gave that sort of feedback when we had the patch 1.10. No one else than Gabri, I mean. Like, it was all like Gabri's idea. Most of them were not implemented how Gabri would have wanted them to be, like Arc Armor though. But when you stop and think about it, like, Gabri's contribution is palpable. Like, haters will say like, oh, but it's flawed there and there. But I mean, that's on From Software though. That's not on Gabri, because his system worked. It's just that because From Software don't particularly understand everything they're doing quite as well as we do, you get stuff like you get stuff that's like that's implemented like halfway there. All right, Kevin, that's it. I killed Estes Genso and Reddit still hates me. Dude, you cannot win versus Reddit. Reddit would always hate me. I was actually thinking you might have a point, but that's not true because I remember clearly in the network test, we had perfect block, right? We had that occur in the network test, so perfect block was already a thing. So that means that everything related to these like random poise event was already a thing back then, basically. Because I remember, like, we had the perfect... I remember clearly... You guys who... I know that some of you guys in chat right now were there with me back in the network test. You remember when Gabriel and I were testing stuff and we had perfect block happen, and we called it. We said explicitly perfect block is in Elden Ring back in the network test. We just only had 2 days to work with, so we didn't have enough time to figure out, like, how it worked. And when the game came out, it like kind of fell out of the window and we didn't really pay much attention to it anymore. But like we figured out clearly that, okay, this is a thing there, which means that the input drops and the random poise event were there from the get-go, basically. That's the logic here. I invented stick drift. That's also true. Rumors say that I invented the PlayStation Edge controller, but that's false.